Okay, what's up people? Good evening, and this is BS2PCG Deck Forger. For tonight, we have a very special edition as we are going to discuss with you our newest demo deck box courtesy of FHP BS2PCG Philippines. And we're going to have a new deck, and this is no other than the Omega herself, Jean Grey. Okay, so stick with us and hopefully can learn some more deck build as we begin our newest video for BS2PCG Deck Forger. Okay, so for tonight we have this newest deck box. Okay, and we're going to try to open it and find out what decks we have inside. And of course, out of the decks that are available in this new demo box, we're going to have a discussion on that particular deck. Okay, so let's try to open it. Okay, so wow, now we have not 4 this time, but we have 6 okay decks inside our deck box. Okay, so as you can see that we have over here is our this is our mainstay in our last deck box, and this is Quake, okay, from the Shield team. I think we have not discussed her yet, but okay, let's try to find out more about her later. Okay, so we also have another mainstay in our demo boxes, and this is Iron Man from the Avengers team. So nice. Okay, so we have this one, and we also have a new contender, one of my favorite main characters from the X-Men, and this is Wolverine. And as you can see, Wolverine here has not 2, not 3, but also 4 main character cards. Okay, so we'll try to discuss Wolverine once that we are into his particular deck. Okay, so and right over here we have a new villain boss. Okay, and this is Ultron. Yeah, I like Ultron because of the 7 health. And Ultron here also comes with its own boss card. Okay, so I think with this particular demo deck box, you can actually play a boss battle, using Ultron for example, and you can play with 2 other characters, that are available in this demo deck box. And whoa, let's see, what do we have here? We also have Thanos. Okay, I think this is the newer version of the Marvel based Thanos, and Thanos here also comes with his very own boss battle card. And this boss battle card meaning Thanos, you can play Thanos as a boss in a boss battle, and again you can choose any 2 other characters in this demo box to go against the main man himself, Thanos. And at the last, but not the least, we have one of my favorite Omega characters, and specifically she's the only main character in the Omega box set. And of course we have Jean Grey. Okay, so Jean Grey here has 3 tiers of level. So she has a level 1, level 2, and a level 3. Okay, so I think this is the deck that we're going to discuss for today. So just in case that you have noticed also that we have created this particular set of demo boxes from old Marvel base, or Marvel Battles base set boxes. And for this instance, we have used 4 of the foam dividers so that you can create a display wherein you have at least 6 decks. Okay, the previous one only contains 4 decks, but this time we have 6 decks, okay, for display. And the good thing here is on the top you have the good guys from Quake to Iron Man to Wolverine, and at the bottom of course you have Ultron and Thanos as the main villains with their particular boss battle cards, and of course you have Jean Grey, wherein of course the Omegas are considered as a neutral aligned team. Okay, so this particular demo box is now on display at Ford Shabby Place in Las Piñas City, Philippines, and I really like how this demo box is put on display so that those who get to go to Ford Shabby Place may get a glimpse of what a BS2PCG card game looks like, and actually they can actually touch it, hold it, and they can even play with it if they like. So as long as they put it back all together, just the same way that they have gotten it. And I hope this could be a good example that we can bring to other hobby shops who are trying to merchandise the BS2 PCG game. So in this particular instance, we're going to get the 6th deck on this demo deck box, and we're going to discuss it for tonight. And this is of course the Omega Mutant Jean Grey. Okay. Okay, so to discuss further our new deck, let's begin with the main character that we have chosen for this particular deck, and this is Jean Grey. Okay, so Jean Grey, as I have mentioned, is the only main character in the Omega set, and she is a 2 attack, 2 defense, and she is also known as Phoenix and Dark Phoenix. So meaning you cannot put any Phoenix card, supporting character card, or Dark Phoenix supporting character card in your deck. So she has 5 health to begin with, and she is also an Omega level mutant. So you cannot include Omega level mutants with other names in your deck. And at the same time, her level up requirement is chromatic event, so she only needs 1 XP to level up. So when a character on your side with cost 1 gets KO'd on an enemy player's turn, Jean gains an XP. So meaning if you have any 1 cost supporting character on your side and it gets KO'd during an enemy's turn, automatically Jean Grey gets to level up. And when Jean Grey levels up, now she becomes a 5 attack, 5 defense main character at level 2, and her health goes up to 6, and she gains the range keyword power. And at the same time, she gains another keyword power, and it's called Out of Control. So when Jean Grey attacks, put 3 -1/-1 counters on another character on your side, and reduce the number of counters by 1 for each XP that she has. Meaning, if Jean Grey gets to attack while she's level 2, you put 3 -1/-1 counters on another character on your side. So it's like a penalty. But then in return, it is the requirement for her next level up power called Learning Control. and she needs at least 3 XP to level up, okay, to 3. So when, okay, you put counters on a character on your side when Jin is out of control, then she gains 1 XP. So at least you need at least 3 turns for her to attack and to put 3 -1/-1 counters during the first attack, and she gains 1 XP. On her next or second attack, you then get to put 2 -1/-1 counters now, since Jean Grey already has 1 XP. And during your third attack, then you get to put 1 -1/-1 counter on another character on your side, since Jean Grey already has at least 2 XP. And when she's able to meet the condition for learning control, then now she becomes a level 3, okay, main character. And this is where the fun begins. So at level 3, okay, Jean Grey becomes an 8 attack, 8 defense main character, and her health now goes up to 7. And she gains flight, okay, and range. And at the same time, she gains her final and most powerful superpower, and this is called the Psychic Firebird. So with Psychic Firebird, okay, during your main phase, all you need to do is just pay 2 yellow power symbols. So these are the yellow power symbols, although they are printed in white. And with this superpower, you may remove an enemy player's hand or deck from the game. So meaning it's an entire deck. So if you're able to do this, let's say on the 5th turn, then at least Jean Grey, okay, will get to remove the entire or the rest of the deck from your opponent, and that normally spells the end for your opponent. So how do we get to that level 3 Psychic Firebird, okay, ability? So let's try to discuss now the various supporting characters that we have for the deck. Okay, so one of the main staple for your 1-drops are of course 4 copies of the Wasp. So the Wasp is an A-Force supporting character, and she's 1 cost. She has 1 attack and 2 defense with 1 health, and she has flight, so the better to protect your Jean Grey while she is still weak when she is level 1. And at the same time, this will meet the condition for her level up power, which is traumatic event. And with Sting, okay, when Wax appears, put a -1/-1 counter on enemy character. And she also has Shrink, so when Wax gets attacked the first time each turn, you may cancel the combat. But then again, I have to emphasize, you may cancel the combat. If you want Wasp, okay, to be KO'd, okay, you don't need to use the Shrink during the first attack, and it's just an option. So again, when she gets KO'd, automatically your level 1 Jean Grey will get okay, the 1 XP that she needs, and she automatically, okay, goes up to level 2. Okay, so very nice indeed. And besides the 4 Wasps, we also have 4 copies of my favorite Inhuman. Okay, Nadja. So Nadja is also a 1-drop. Okay, at 1 attack and 1 defense with 1 health and with flight. So again, to better protect your Jean Grey from the initial first turn onslaught of your opponent. And she has Terrigenesis. So with Terrigenesis, when Nadja appears, you may exhaust her. If you do, put 2+1/+1 counters on her. So when she appears, you may exhaust her and you put 2+1/+1 counters on her, so she becomes a 3 attack, 3 defense character. And what's better is she has Ferocious, so while in melee combat, okay, Nadja strikes before characters without Ferocious. So at least you get to strike first, so it's an option for you if you want her to be KO'd, or so she can go up against a big attacker. If not, then at least you can, okay, pummel down any character with 3 defense or less, and she won't get stunned back in return because she has Ferocious. Okay, so mostly these 2 are your initial mulligan for this deck because you need the one cost character to be KO'd in order for your level 1 Jean Grey to level up. Then you also have 2 copies of Yondu. He's here because of course he's also a 1-drop character, but since he's a 1 attack 2 defense supporting character with 2 health, he's more of an option to play with on the first turn. And he has range, so at least he can do the range attacking from behind. But the Yaka arrow is the most important thing here because of course during the main phase you may pay 1 red power symbol to stun a supporting character with cost 3 or less. So the better to hit Yondu with the likes of like center carry who has an alternate win condition and other 3 cost or 2 cost or 1 cost characters in play that are more very critical. Okay, most especially like the Mirages and also the Nick Furies, and Yondu will come in handy, okay, in this particular scenario. We have also put a copy of the Nullifier. Of course, the Nullifier is important because it's a one of a kind equipment, and it has the ultimate nullification. So when the Nullifier appears, okay, name a keyword or superpower, so any characters lose and can't gain that power until the Nullifier leaves play. Nullify is here because you need to guard against again particular cards like of course Center Kelly or even the Dark Phoenix, because the Dark Phoenix can again remove the level up conditions in the game, and okay, that will prevent you from using Jean Grey's most powerful superpower, which is the Psychic Firebird. And for our other 2-drop, we have 4 copies of Miss Marvel. And as you have noticed, I've been using Miss Marvel for in several of my decks because she is very versatile. And actually, this Miss Marvel is the Kamala Khan version from the Champions team, and she is a 2-drop 3 attack 3 defense character with 2 health, and her keyword power is size alteration. So while Miss Marvel is in combat, you may discard a supporting character as though it were a combat plot twist. Okay, so if you do, her base attack and defense becomes equal to that character's for this combat. So I've been using Miss Marvel because normally when I pack up huge supporting characters on the 7th, 8th, 9th, and even higher drops, okay, their base attack and defense will come in handy in order for Miss Marvel to grow up. So I can use Miss Marvel for my initial attacks, okay, to pummel down those main characters and even those walls of larger characters that are in the way. And you can also use her for defense, mostly for grounded attackers, so that you'll be able to stun them with the higher base attack stats that is provided by the huge supporting characters that you are throwing out or pitching from your hand. Okay, and we also have 4 copies of Mantis for us to be able to ramp it up a bit, okay, a little bit faster, for you to be able to go and reach the higher level supporting characters. And Mantis is a 2-cost Guardians of the Galaxy supporting character with 2 attack and 3 defense and 1 health. And her main keyword power is reverse, so when she gets KO'd, you may turn her into a face down resource on your side. Okay, so when she gets KO'd, she doesn't go to the KO pile, but instead she goes face down into resource and will add as another resource or recruit point, okay, during your next turn. Okay, so let's place Mantis here. And we will have also provided 3 copies of Jessica Jones. Of course, because Jessica Jones is one tough defender. She's a 3-cost with 4 attack and 3 defense and 3 health. So she's very difficult to get rid of. And she has flight, so she can better protect Jean Grey at the front row position. And of course, Jessica Jones has stop. So when Jessica Jones gets stunned, you may recover her, and she still gains a wound. But again, still pays up, so again, she can become a good blocker for any other opposing attackers. And what's more important here, of course, is in a mirror match, you have psionic protection, so enemy players can't use yellow-based superpowers. So if you're up against another Jean Grey and you have Jessica Jones in play, at least your opponent can use the Psychic Firebird on you. So it's just a race to whomever will get his deck removed from the game first. Okay. And we also have 4 copies of Peace. And Peace is the most important card in this particular deck. And that's because, okay, of his 2 weeks to learn his patience, his patterns. Okay, so Peace is a 4 attack, 6 defense. Okay, praise supporting character with 1 health. And 2 weeks to learn his patterns is when Peace appear, choose a character on your side and that character can use any power symbols to pay for its next superpower this turn. So you have to understand that since Jean Grey belongs to the Omega team, and Omega team actually is a neutral team with no wild location yet. Okay, so mostly she has to rely on basic locations. But since you only have 4 academies or similar locations to run in your deck, you have to rely on at least a converter in order to convert your other set of basic locations so that they are usable for Jean Grey's final and most powerful power. Okay, so Peace provides that particular conversion so that you can use your green or red or blue power symbols so that you are able to pay for Jean Grey's requirement for Psychic Firebird. And besides that, of course, Peace has his liquid nitrogen cannon. And during the main phase, you may pay 1 yellow power symbol to freeze an enemy character. So at least the freeze or the stall, okay, on a particular enemy character will come in handy, most especially if you're going up against a very aggressive opponent, okay, deck. And we have 3 copies of the Fearless One. And the Fearless One is here, the FallenOne, sorry. And so the FallenOne is here because we need to drop his bigger boss later in the game. So FallenOne is a 4 cost, okay, 4 attack, 4 defense, prideful supporting character with 2 health. And he's a Herald of Galactus, so you may pay 1 less to recruit Galactus supporting characters. And he's also a Herald of Galactus, okay. A Herald of Thanos, so you pay 1 less to recruit Thanos supporting characters this turn. And he's also the Fallen Herald. So the Fallen Herald is when the Fallen One, okay, strikes Galactus or Thanos, okay, either if it's a supporting character or a main character, okay, you get to stun that character. So very important. Fallen One is very important for this particular, okay, deck. Okay, so going to our last 4 drop is of course 1 copy of SpiderGwen. And SpiderGwen is very important here because you need to play 1 particular plot twist, and that is Build a Better World. And SpiderGwen is a 4 cost 8 force supporting character with 4 attack and 7 defense. And she has 1 health. Her first keyword power is dodge, so SpiderGwen can be range attack. But what is more important is her second keyword power, which is dimensional wristwatch. So you may recruit SpiderGwen from your deck. So search your deck for her, shuffle your deck, then recruit her. So the good thing about SpiderGwen is even if you don't have her in your hand, at least you can, of course, okay, recruit her from your deck. So she comes in handy, most especially during the 4th turn if you don't want to miss a drop. And for our 5 cost supporting character, we have 2 copies of Cable. And we have included Cable here, of course, because if we are running red, we also need to at least have a way to eliminate those very difficult big gunners from your opponents. For example, the Gilgamesh, the Ping-Pong-Poons, and even their own copies of their, of course, Galactus or Captain Universe. And Cable is a 2 attack, 7 defense X-Men supporting character with 1 health. He has range, and his main superpower is Ultimate Soldier. So during the combat turn, okay, you may pay a red power symbol, and at the end of this combat, stun each enemy character that survived the combat. So better way to eliminate any opponent. Okay, and going now, okay, to the 7th drop. So if you've noticed, we have skipped our 6th drop. Okay, so we have Chilka. So she's a 7 cost underworld supporting character with 7 attack and 7 defense and 2 health. And she's immortal, so when Chilka gets KO'd, you may shuffle her into your deck. And she has Eternal Bliss, so at the start of your build phase, you may put a character from your KO pile into your hand. If it's Deadpool, put him onto your side instead. So we're more on to putting, okay, a character card, a supporting character card from your KO pile, since we are prone to throwing or pitching off those huge supporting characters that are not playable yet in the early turns due to Miss Marvel. Okay, and Chilka will now, okay, be able to return them for you to use in the later turns. So Chilka will come in handy in this particular deck. And for big gunners, we start off with Ping-Pong-Poon. Okay, so we have Ping-Pong-Poon. He is an 8 cost, 14 attack, 14 defense. Okay, monsters. Okay, supporting character with 2 health. He also has flight, so he can better protect the main character in the front row position. He's solitary, so Ping-Pong-Poon cannot team attack. But again, do not worry because he is massive, so Ping-Pong-Poon attacks rows instead of characters. So he strikes with his full attack against each defender in a row. So the more to board wipe your opponent's front wall in any offensive turn. Okay, so we have 2 copies of Ping-Pong-Poon. And we also have 2 copies of the Great Thanos. And Thanos is an 8 drop, 12 attack, 12 defense. Okay, super villains supporting character with 2 health, and of course it's very important here because okay, of his welcome death. So during the main phase, you may pay 1 green power symbol to add a wound to all stun characters. So the more to accelerate the wound inflicted on your opponent's characters. And of course we cannot forget, or we don't have to forget Gilgamesh, because Gilgamesh, we have 2 copies in our deck, and he's an 8 drop, 16 attack, 16 defense, Avenger supporting character. He has 1 health with flight, and at the same time he's eternal, so if Gilgamesh would leave play, you may put him into his owner's hand instead. Okay, but then again, as an eternal, he has a drawback, so that drawback is the Forgotten One. So at the end of your turn, if you don't say Gilgamesh this turn, he loses and can't gain Eternal anymore. So again, don't forget to say Gilgamesh before you end your turn. And going forward, we have one of the biggest character in the deck. Okay, the better to pitch for Miss Marvel. So of course, you can play him later. Then Captain Universe is one of the biggest gunner, okay, in the S2PCG. And Captain Universe is a 25 attack, 25 defense, okay, SpiderGwen supporting character. He has 5 health with flight. Okay, so he's also known as Spider-Man. So as much as possible, you can play Spider-Man once you have this card in play. And he has the Unipower chooses a partner. So you may pay less to recruit Captain Universe equal to the cost of a Spider-Man supporting character on your side. But again, you don't really have much use for him because the more important thing is he has the 25 attack, 25 defense stats. And you have to be careful when using him because when the time of peril has passed, at the end of your turn, if your main character has a total remaining health greater than or equal to the total remaining health of your enemy main character, you have to KO Captain Universe. Okay, so much better to play him as a cage for, let's say, Miss Marvel. Okay, Miss Marvel size alteration, or you can play him later if you are, let's say, down to one or two health for your Jean Grey main character. And we have finally the biggest dude in the block, and that is the 12 drop Galactus supporting character. He's a whopping 30 attack, 30 defense, prideful supporting character with 7 health. He has both flight and range. The problem here is, of course, you cannot play Galactus outright unless you have a Herald of Galactus. So the start of the universe is Galactus can only appear when he is recruited, and only while there is a Herald of Galactus on your side. So that is why you need to have your FallenOne in position before you go for the drop on Galactus. So normally on the 11th turn. Okay, and at the same time, he's a cosmic entity, so Galactus is unaffected by burn, freeze, immobile, and infect. And what's better, he's the monster of all worlds. So at the end of your main phase, you may name a location. If you do, remove each card with that name everywhere from the game. So example, if your opponent is playing Weyland-Yutani Complex, then if you name it, then you get to remove all Weyland-Yutani Complex from the game. So it's either on your side or on your opponent's side. Okay, so that's most of our supporting characters. And for our plot twist, we only have 4 copies of our plot twist, and that is 4 copies of Build a Better World. So Build a Better World, actually you can play this plot twist because you have Wasp, and you also have that easily recruitable summon SpiderGwen. And Build a Better World is here because you have to turn, or you need to turn one of your face down basic locations face up, either during the main phase or during the combat phase. And it's very important because if you get to use your yellow power symbol for one example, then at least you get to have Build a Better World in order to face them up again. So let's say you can use the yellow power symbol in peace, then later on, you can use Build a Better World to again flip it back face up. Okay, so we just have 4 copies of that flat case. And finally, we have our set of locations. So for this particular deck, we have 4 copies of course, Los Angeles, and we also have 4 copies of the Game Preserve, and we also have 4 copies of Fortress. So I haven't really put any blue here because, of course, the Fortress is more importantly used for Thanos Welcome Death. That's why you need 4 copies of it. We need the red because, of course, we are running Yondu, so we need 4 copies of the red location because of Yondu's Chilka arrow. And of course, we have 4 copies of the Los Angeles or the yellow power symbol location because we need to use it for Jean Grey's psychic Firebird. So this deck normally runs, how to run this deck, so this deck normally runs like you have to mulligan for at least a Wasp or a Nadja on your first opening hand, and at the same time, you have to put it in play. Chances are if your opponent gets to KO this one, then again, Jean Grey gets to level up. Then you can put at least a Miss Marvel or maybe, let's say, even a Mantis, no? Or even Jessica Jones, so that Jean Grey, when she attacks with learning control, You get to put a -3/-3 counter on Mantis and she gets KO'd automatically, and again Mantis goes to your resource as an additional resource or recruit point for the next turn. So on the next attack, she gets to put a 2 -1 count, -1/-1 counters. So it can also be a SpiderGwen on the 4th turn, or maybe even a FallenOne. But I will try to hold back on the keys because you need keys later once she gets to go up to level 3. Okay, so on her 3rd and final attack before becoming level 3, again, Jean Grey now gives a 1 -1/-1 counter. So again, you can put it on any other character. It can be a Jessica Jones, or it can be a Mantis, or FallenOne again. And when she gets the 3 XP, she now goes up to level 3. And that's the time when you have to play on your next turn, or during your next turn, a keys if you haven't pulled out any 2 yellow power symbols yet. So a keys will then give the ability to use for Jean Grey to use any power symbol, be it the green one or the red one, to activate the Psychic Firebird. And so when Psychic Firebird is activated, then you get to remove your opponent's deck from the game. And if you're lucky enough and you're able to pull off 2 more power symbols for the next turn, then Jean Grey will now get to remove your enemy player's hand. And that normally ends the game because your opponent will now get to concede with no hand, and with no deck, and now your huge supporting characters are coming out one at a time. Okay, so I really like playing with this deck because Jean Grey provides a very particular nasty surprise to your opponent, most especially to those who are not aware of what she can do. And normally, those who try to undermine her ability to be able to use Psychic Firebird is in for a surprise once you're able to pull off a keys and you're able to pay for Psychic Firebird with a red or a green location. And of course, if you lack those needed location because you've used them, you still have, of course, your Build a Better World, for you to flip back your turn down locations. Okay, so again guys, this is a very good deck to play with. Again, you can tweak this particular deck to suit your needs, and feel free to find more better supporting characters if you want. But then again, I have to really use whatever is available in my library of cards in order to make this card a little bit formidable during the tournaments. And again, we'd like to thank our sponsors. Again, that is Treats for Them. That is TREATS number 4. THEM, Treats for Them. You can order treats or make libre to your friends. Even while abroad. To those in the Philippines. Using Treats for Them. You can download the app at the Google Play Store, or you can even visit www.treatsforthem.com in order to purchase your order. So we have more than 200 merchants now, plus join Treats for Them. So you can buy beauty products, you can buy health supplements, you can buy food, you can buy travel tickets, you can buy sunglasses, and all the other stuff, and you can even buy our favorite DS2 TCG cards, using Treats for Them. And we would also like to thank our sponsors. That's Fort Chubby Place in Las Piñas City, Philippines. And Fort Chubby Place is located at Unit B, Velasquez Compound, in Naga Road, Pulanlupa to Las Piñas City, Philippines. So we have regular tournaments every Sunday, starting at 3 o'clock p.m. And sometimes you also go up north at TM apartment building in Matalino Street in Quezon City, and that's where we also held at least our events once a month, at up north in Quezon City at TM Apartments building. And we'd also like to thank the people at the BS2 PCG Collective, most especially to the guys at the Build Phase, Build a Better Turn. And I'd like to thank Mr. Joe Vitelli and Mr. Benjamin Brosin for all the support that they have given to us here in the Philippines. So again guys, this is Mark Eon, and this is another edition of your favorite. Okay, we're in the Philippines best BS2PCG decks are highlighted, and this is the BS2PCG Deck Forger. So again guys, have a good night.